Hi there. In this QuickBooks Online video, we're going to quickly look at products and services, as well as creating and modifying vendors and creating bills for both inventory purchases and non-inventory purchases. So I'm going to quickly go to the US test drive. And again, we're using Craig's Design and Landscaping. That's the test drive company. They are a landscaping company based in California. So I'm going to quickly go to Sales, Products and Services. So that's one way you can get to the products and services list. Another way is through the gear icon and Products and Services under the lists heading there. I'm going to create a new product inventory. So this is a cherub statue. Just say cherub, and then for category, I'll add a new category called statue. Initial quantity on hand is required. We have 10 of those. You can enter 0 if you don't have any. As of date, I'm going to use today. And we want to always have 5 in stock. So the system will let us know if we drop below 5. I'm going to use all of the default linked accounts. So these are the accounts that are affected when we buy and sell these items. And I'm going to say 3-foot cherub statue. We sell those for $300, and we get them for $150. And I'm just going to leave the tax at taxable standard rate. And I'm going to choose Save and Close. And I'll quickly also create a new service item so we can see the difference between those. Notice that the form is quite a bit smaller, doesn't have an associated cost or asset account. I know we already have trimming available as a service, but I'm going to say hedge trimming. We have all sorts of trimming that we can do. I'm not going to bother with the category, and we charge $50 an hour for that. And Save and Close. We can also modify any existing products or services. So I'm just going to modify this pump. I always want to have $10 on hand. So I want the system to alert me once we drop below 10 or hit 10. So that's basically editing products and services. There's a couple of reports available. So if I go to reports here, we'll see all of the inventory reports under sales and customers. So we have inventory. You can take a look at those product service list. I'm going to quickly create a new vendor. So I'll go to Expenses, Vendors, also known as Suppliers. New vendor. And I'm going to add our marketing company. And we can add all of this information if we like. I'll just quickly add their email. There's my Edward at Danby Marketing. In real life, we would populate as much of this as we possibly can. We're living in the age of information, so we can't collect too much. Now, if we want to add a particular account that's automatically affected when we create a transaction for this vendor, we can choose this here. That'll be the suggested account that comes up on transactions. We can always use a different account, but I believe this will be advertising expense. There it is there. We can enter opening balances. We'll look at that in more detail in level 2, and I'll choose save. So I'm going to quickly modify a supplier. So I'm going to go find Pam Sets. And Pam Sets is now, she's changed her company name to Pam Sets and Associates. So I'll choose Edit. And I'll choose that. And save. We can change anything we wish to about Pam Sets, of course. Anything in that form. Aside from the opening balance. You have to modify that in a slightly different way. Again, we'll get into that in level 2. So now I'm going to create a transaction for one of my existing vendors. So under expenses, I'll choose expenses, and I'm going to create a bill. New transaction bill. So what a bill is, it's a purchase invoice on account. So it affects accounts payable. And I'm going to buy something from Tim Phillips Masonry. Today, I'll say Tim Phillips Masonry. That's a prefix we can give his invoice so that we know what invoices belong to what. That wouldn't be his own prefix. Is the number on his invoice that he gives us. We'll look at tags in level 2. I'll come back to category in a moment. Item allows us to pick inventory items that we're purchasing. And we're getting a rock fountain. 3 rock fountains. We're buying this item for resale, so we don't have to worry about tax. One thing about tax, though, is if we choose that, the billable also gets chosen. I'm not sure why that is. And there's shipping along with this. We don't presently have a shipping expense, I don't believe. So I'm going to quickly add one on the fly. See if there's a suitable category for that. I think it's other miscellaneous service costs will be fine, and I'll call that shipping. And save and close, and that's $25. Not billable. We'll look at billable in level 2. So the total should be $425. Sorry, $400. And I'm going to choose save and new from the little triangle. So that posts the bill. You'll see that accounts payable is now increased, and I'm going to buy something from a new vendor, and we're going to be the end consumer of this item. So this is a non-inventory purchase. So I'm going to add new, and we're buying some furniture. And I'll see if I can add that as a category. Yeah, when you go to choose an account that is affected by default for a new vendor, you can't add that account on the fly, so I'd have to come back. So again, in real life, I would add all of the contact information, so just be aware of what you can add. We have an area for notes, attachments, all sorts of stuff. And I'm going to choose save. And again, we're the end consumer of this, so it's just going to be a category, and it's going to be furniture. Now, I don't believe we have a furniture asset, so I'm going to quickly create one. And I believe it's fixed assets and fixed assets furniture. I'm just going to leave the name and save. And that's bill number CFL 997, and the amount for that is $229. And I'll go ahead and save and close. So that's pretty much all I want to show you with this video. So again, what we did was we looked at products and services, adding, modifying both of those, creating new vendors, and creating some bills for our existing vendors as well as the new vendor. Thanks so much for watching.